For our first story, we have I 26 male lost the trust of my fiancé 25 female after she confessed something really shocking to me in bed. How do I move forward from this? So, it's the morning hours where I'm from. Woke up to some quality time, sex, with my fiancé before we start our day. After everything we had come to an end, we laid down cuddling and one thing led to another and was telling me something along the lines of if I ever left her she would make sure the other woman had to work really hard to keep me. Something along the lines of breaking my manhood. Which was unusual and funny, but I guess when the sex is that you tend to get a little crazy. So I don't know how the conversation came up, but she then said I have a confession to make and I'm just like okay while I held a smile on my face. That's when she said, and I quote, we had a fight. Non-physical, it was to the point that I was so frustrated that when I went to make you dinner I snuck something into your tea that makes you sleep and I was watching you fight that sleep. Your eyes were so red and when you did actually went to sleep I sat down and watch you as I contemplate what to do about us and so many thoughts were going my mind while I watch you slept for like a few hours and I eventually got tired and just went to bed. End quote. The fear in my eyes were real as I just listened to my fiancé admitted to being a f-king psychopath and to drugging me while she contemplated on a way forward. I know for a fact I don't trust this woman anymore and now I'm even more scared to sleep with her or to eat from her all because we had an argument over her not doing what's right. We haven't spoken for the entire day after that confession even after she's made several attempts to talk. I'm afraid to even go to my friends knowing they'll just laugh and say it's probably nothing bro and tell me to relax. That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, how do I move forward from this? By moving on from her. Our second commenter says, run. Our third commenter says, well, you need to protect yourself, firstly. Obviously the relationship is over, and you need physical safety while you are sorting things out, like who gets what and who lives where. Do that stuff over text or phone calls, do not be in the same vicinity as her anymore, starting now. Also, document everything you do and where you are, 24/7. People like her have been known to fabricate false charges with the police. For our second story, we have son, male 22, threatening to cut off contact with me, male 65, over med school tuition. I paid all of my son's expenses to get his undergrad degree and he is now interested in medical school. Medical school will cost around $400,000 all in for living expenses and tuition. He is an excellent student but won't get any aid since I make too much money. I informed my son that he would need to take out loans for medical school since I am on the verge of retirement. I have around $2 million in cash and another $1 million in equity in my home so I could do it but would feel pinched. All of my friends who are doctors took out loans for themselves and were able to pay them back quickly. He has threatened to cut off all contact if I don't pay the costs and it honestly feels like huge entitlement and extortion to me. Thoughts on dealing with this? That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, it's extortion. You shouldn't sacrifice your retirement here. Is he going to pay you back or cover your mortgage once he graduates? What's in it for you? If this is who he is, not much you can do at this point. Hopefully he grows up. Our second commenter says, wow, I'm sorry but it seems like your son is way too entitled and sees you more like an ATM. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You have already paid and given him an excellent start in life. Better than what most parents can afford. He should be incredibly grateful. If he cuts all contact because you did not give more money, then that's all that you were to him. Sad face, your money is your money. You can't take it with you in your grave, so please use it to enjoy your retirement. It's for your retirement and for enjoying life. Your son will have to take a loan like all others but surely he can pay that back. Our third commenter says, 1. How does it get to this point without having discussed this? 2. He should take out a loan. It eats far too much into your retirement to fund this. If he doesn't think it will pay off, then maybe he should go to a less expensive medical school or pursue another career. For our last story, we have I, 36 male, feel like I'm not allowed to do anything, errands, etc. without my 34 female partner tagging along and having to do extra stuff she wants to do. She says she can't trust me on my own. How do I deal with that? Basically the title, but more information. We've been together for 4 years, living together for 2-ish. We spend every evening and weekend together doing stuff. Occasionally she'll go visit family by herself, but that's it. I don't have family nearby, and very few other friends, but I can't do anything, including errands or home improvement projects, without her tagging along. Tried to go to the store yesterday for some supplies for a project, which turned into a 4-hour adventure because we just had to go to 4 other stores, get an oil change in her car, and go shopping for dinner. I couldn't work on my project, which put me in a sour mood, which she then got upset about. I have told her to do these things on her own, and have tried to tell her that I'm okay just running errands on my own, but she has to do with me and then suddenly remembers these things she has to do once we leave and gets upset with me if we don't do them. I just can't deal with this anymore because I can't get anything done. Then she's upset things don't get done, and if I just work on getting things done anyway, she gets upset that she was left out. I don't know what to do anymore, it's just a bad situation. That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, if she actually doesn't trust you to go to the store, then the relationship isn't salvageable. If she's just clingy and finding excuses, then you need to be firmer. Sure, she can come with you, but you're coming home right after, no matter her attitude. If you'd rather go alone, you go alone. Stop bending to her unreasonable asks. Basically, if she freaks out over it, you'll learn something. If she accepts it and agrees to work on it, then you can build up from there. Our second commenter says, has she actually said she can't trust you on your own? Because that's fucked up. Our third commenter says, if the tables were turned and you were the woman and she was the man, it would be a more obviously abusive situation. You're isolated and not near friends and family. She accuses you of being untrustworthy for no reason and doesn't let you leave her sight. Your relationship is unhealthy, and I'm sure in the past 4 years you've told her several times you need space. This isn't going to change, and from here on out I would highly suggest you create an escape plan that involves you finding somewhere to live, moving your things out while she's at work, and safely telling her the relationship is over from a distance. You can make one final, last-ditch effort to get her to understand and tell her this is a deal-breaker for you. But it sounds like the resentment has already settled in and her behavior is just going to go back to what it is now anyway. I want you to understand that you are being abused and this isn't going to get better. The only real solution is to leave her. Take this quiz. Link. That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.